Good evening. It is time for part 25 of Condensed Chaos by Phil Hine. Let's not fall behind and let's get this done. My witches, wizards, warlocks, magicians, maguses, and magi. We're continuing with path working. Now, these path workings are especially useful as training exercises, particularly when you are beginning to work with a belief system with which you are unfamiliar. These path workings are useful if read onto audio tape, or, as is more usual, read by another person. Semi-structured path workings have less detail. They tend to begin with an entrance sequence, which sets up the place or zone which is to be explored and what the point of you being there is, after which you are left to your own devices. For example, the narrator leads you to a strange castle, giving you enough perceptual cues to build the imagery, and then tells you that you must look for someone who will give you a key to your own magical power. After which, you are on your own. This approach gives you more freedom of movement and creativity within the exercise. Unstructured or spontaneous path workings may consist of a single three-dimension shape or image, such as a tarot card, or even a rune or I Ching hexagram. The idea here is to use the symbol or image as a doorway or gate, and to project yourself through it into a mythic landscape which lies beyond it. What can path workings be used for? Apart from training and belief system familiarization, one of the basic uses is to place you into a situation which triggers emotional and cognitive reactions to the level when you identify completely with what is happening. A path working in which you die, are buried, and go through the various stages of decomposition will, if nothing else, remind you of the inevitability of death, and perhaps help you work on your fear of death. Path workings can also be designed which have free areas, maybe for scrying, talking to entities, or performing enchantments. Kinesthetic memory. Awareness of our own orientation in space and of how muscular movements combine in movement can be used to hide an awareness of what is generally called the body of light, the astral body, or the double. Raise your left arm slowly, being aware of changes in muscles and slight air resistance, and the movement of the joints and bones. Do this a few times, and then vividly evoke those sensations while imagining that you are raising your left arm. Try this until you can experience raising your kinesthetic left arm almost as vividly as raising your real left arm. If you continue to try this practice with a range of body movements and orientations, you will find eventually that you can move freely around in this body. The double has a great deal of magical applications. It can be used to rehearse potentially difficult situations or tasks, as an extension of relaxation and do easy. It can also be used in shapeshifting and invocation, see chapter 8, and also in the exploration of dream and liminal trances. The Astral Temple. Building an astral temple combines elements of perceptual gestalts and the use of kinesthetic memory. The astral temple is where you go using your imagination to perform acts of magic. Traditional descriptions of astral temples make much use of quasi-Masonic and Hermetic symbolism, but there is no reason why you cannot develop your own temple using symbolism and background ideas which you feel to be more appropriate, such as a cyberspace zone, space station, or skyscraper. The astral temple can be used for all works of magic that you would normally do on the physical, and as a starting point for exploration of inner worlds and landscapes. This is a realm where the only limit is the span of your imagination. With practice, you can build into it emotional associations so that whenever you enter it, you become calm, relaxed, and feel yourself at your most powerful. The Star Chamber. The Star Chamber is sphere or transparent crystal suspended in deep space. Its dimensions are capable of being enlarged to suit different requirements. To enter the Star Chamber, visualize the 8-rayed chaos star whirling in front of you so that it becomes a whirling vortex, which draws you into the chamber. In the center of the chamber is a crystalline pillar, set at waist height. If you place your hands on the pillar, the chamber shimmers with a brief flash of purple light and you have full control of its functions. The Star Chamber is both an astral temple and a vehicle for traveling through the multiverse. You can move to any point in time space by placing your hands on the control pillar and asserting your will. You can also extrude various devices from the walls of the chamber to perform different tasks. Globes for scrying and generating servitors, bizarre energy projectors for the projection of desires, or baffles and collectors for collecting the radiation of black holes. Trance and perception. We shift in and out of different shades of perception continuously throughout each day. Daydreaming, fantasy, concentrating on a difficult task, listening to music, becoming absorbed in a situation so that background noises disappear. When we talk of entering trance, we are referring to a deliberate or intentional act of altering perception according to specific parameters. In modern Western society, we tend to have very fixed ideas about what constitutes a trance state. We tend to think of someone who is passive, eyes closed and limp, or oblivious to their surroundings. Alright, we're going to stop it there, and we will return tomorrow with more Condensed Chaos. Have a good night.